Welcome, everybody. Can you hear me? How- When I look at technology, it breaks,
Well, you
so
know
I'm
what?
afraid
The
of
microphone
it.
is not that good, so
That's okay.
just be aware. Talk.
On behalf of Florida International University, I am delighted to welcome you to this important academic launch. My name is John Stack. We have seats here, standing room only. That's pretty good. My name is John Stack. I'm director of the School of International and Public Affairs here at FIU. I'm also professor of politics, international relations, and law at the university. I bring greetings and a welcome from our new president, our fifth president, Dr. Mark B. Rosenberg, who regrets that he cannot be here today. But when I spoke with him today, he wanted me to convey his personal belief that this is an important initiative and to welcome everyone to FIU. I'm honored to be in the presence of the Honorable Consul General Sandra Grant Griffiths of Jamaica, as well Dean Laura Probst, who has done so much to really push and propel our university into the 21st century. As a student of international politics, in many ways, Jamaica is on my mind. I study globalization, and as I think about globalization in a global context, in both its intensification and its attenuation, and the personal costs that globalization, both good and bad, make for the people of Jamaica and indeed of the Caribbean, I think it's fitting that in a global city like Miami, with a deep heritage of Jamaican participation throughout our history, and certainly Bahamian before we became a city, I think it's fitting that we initiate this program. I want to personally thank Gail Williams, our Latin American librarian, and the University of Florida. It's a marvelous partnership, much as I expect the launch of the Jamaican Journal to be a wonderfully beneficial partnership. I also want to thank my dear friend and colleague, Vicky Silvera, who is Director of Special Collection. Vicky, to me, is a hero, because she has taken some of the most subtle dimensions of Miami, and she has built a fabulous archive. It's a memorialization of Miami and of Florida International University, and decades from now, Vicky Silvera's work will be recognized. I'm also pleased to say that I'm the master's thesis advisor of Megan Silvera, who, like Vicky, is an absolute pistol. And I've enjoyed working with Megan so much. I also want to acknowledge Brooke Woolbridge, who has done wonderful work here. I was privileged to have Brooke as a graduate student in a seminar I taught on international politics. She was superb then, and I cannot tell you how delighted I was that one of our excellent graduate students, she received the Master's in Latin American Studies, could then join the university in an important position. Her grants, her work have benefited us. I'm also very pleased to have Dr. Barry Chavez here, and our Consul General, Griffiths, is also the chair of the Council of the Institute of Jamaica and herself professor at the University of West Indies. So the blend of diplomacy and academics appeals to my soul. So everyone, welcome on behalf of Florida International University to the Green Library, and it's my pleasure to turn the ceremonies over to Dean Laura Probst. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Green Library and the University Libraries. As John said, my name is Laurie Probst. I'm the Dean of Libraries. I'm now a 2-year resident of Florida, and as I'm becoming to learn, a citizen of the Caribbean region, and so I'm very proud to welcome you here. On behalf of my colleagues in the libraries, I would like to welcome you all, and I would split a special welcome to the Consul General and to our colleagues on the board of the Digital Library of the Caribbean. They're here for a long, long meeting tomorrow. We're going to make everybody work very hard. Did Brooke tell you all that this wasn't fun? But those of you who are more members of the board, if you'd raise your hands so we can all welcome you. Raise your hands high. Great, thank you, and welcome to Miami. I would like to echo John's thanks as well to all of you who have come and to everyone who's made this launch possible, both the folks who digitized the journal. Lori Taylor and her colleagues at the University of Florida Digital Library Center have done wonderful work for years, and we're very proud that they're partners with us. And of course, everybody who helped track down all the various copies of the journal. Anytime you launch a project like this, you always think you have it all in your collections, and lo and behold, there's one or a few issues missing. We discovered one of the lost issues just a little while ago today. Brooke has it in her hot little hands, so we're very pleased with that. Vicki Silvera deserves thanks from me as well. She curated our exhibit and has done a fine job with that, and she's also a hostess extraordinaire, so please join me in giving her a hand. And Vicki works very well with her colleague, Brooke. Now's the time to put all the food in your mouth. So you can I told her I wouldn't say anything until she was chewing on a big glob of food. I'd also like to thank everyone who's speaking today, John and Dr. Shivans and Dr. Donna Weir-Soley, who I understand will be here soon. She's here. Welcome. I'm glad you made it. And before I give up the microphone, as I tell colleagues often, you never give a dean a microphone if you're not ready to sit and listen for a while. We like to talk. But I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's been involved in the Digital Library of the Caribbean project. It's really been a wonderful project that's helped the Florida International University Library and the University of Florida Library and the libraries and organizations throughout our partners across the Caribbean in really promoting and preserving and extending access to this wonderful body of Caribbean research and history and culture. And it's really going to help everyone learn to understand the important history and culture and values of the region. And we can't do it without all the hard work and contributions of the partners in this wonderful organization who have persevered through climate, geography, language, about how many languages? About 5, 6, 9. Not to mention budget shortfalls. So thanks to everyone for their work. And with that, I would please to introduce to you the Consul General of Jamaica, who has a few words to say with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Pross, Professor Stack, Ms. Brooke Woolbridge, Professor Shivans, welcome from Jamaica. Ms. Johnson is also here, Director of the PR and Development section of the Institute of Jamaica. Ms. Weir-Soley, ladies and gentlemen. I am very pleased to be here and thank FIU for the invitation to associate with the launch of the Jamaican Journal Historical Collection online. I want to congratulate the project initiators, Ms. Brooke Woolbridge, I mentioned, and the Digital Library of the Caribbean. I want to note that the launch is taking place in Miami, in the presence of the academia, yes, but the Jamaican diaspora reps are also here. And it makes it all the more exciting because some of you might not be aware that Jamaica deems Miami to be Kingston 21. We have 20 regions and you are the 21st. So we are at home here in Miami. It is said that the dinosaur became extinct because its environment changed and it could not adapt to it. And in this information age, technology and electronic means of transmitting information is critical to our existence and our development, and the launch is therefore timely. The journal was founded in 1967, many decades ago, by the IOJ on the recommendation of former Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Most Honorable Edward Seaga, who is himself an icon in Jamaica's sociology and anthropology and political sphere. And the aim is to reflect the Institute's interest in development and promotion of Jamaica's history, literature, science, and arts. And of course, the precepts of the journal. Another publication was founded in 1896. So we are mindful of the contribution throughout the decades of the journal, the Institute, and the impact on Jamaica's cultural development. On the Institute's watch, several institutions were established and fostered. University of the West Indies, of which Professor Shavans is a dean, and the allocate passed to me earlier really belongs to him. He's dean and professor. I'm merely a graduate of the university. So I still claim it as my alma mater, but not in the sense of academic worth and development. It also launched the Jamaica National Heritage Trust, which is responsible for all our heritage sites in Jamaica and our heritage preservation and dissemination of facts on our heritage. It founded the Hope Zoo. It founded the Cambridge Overseas Examination, which is the forerunner of our CXC, our National High School Leaving Certification. It founded the Manley College of Visual and Performing Arts, the only one of its kind in the Caribbean. And it recently restored Liberty Hall, the legacy of Marcus Garvey, who some of you might know, was a phenomenal black leader, a black leader with intellectual thought capacity as well as political organization skills. And he resonates here in North America and in the USA particularly. And you might not be aware, but most recently, the OAS named its Hall of Culture after Marcus Garvey. And there was, in fact, a launch a week or so ago of this signal honor to a Jamaica national. So the project's launch here today makes Jamaica a part of a project that enhances the USA, the Caribbean, and that relationship, and should be endorsed by all of us who are here, and I'm sure your presence here means that you have endorsed it fully. As Jamaica's Consul General, I am fully on board and support this endeavor and wish it every success, which I'm sure is guaranteed. The Professor Shavans will talk to you about the provenance of the journal, its history, and something of what has made it what it is today. So I will merely speak a little bit about what we've been doing here in Miami. And first of all, I must apologize for Ambassador Johnson, who was invited here this afternoon as well, and could not make it, but asked me to ensure that you are in mind that he owns every copy of the journal, and it's his prized collection. We at the consular mission here in Miami have two overriding interests. We protect the interests of Jamaicans and the interests of our sending state, Jamaica. And we promote a relationship with this state, the USA, which is the receiving state, within the limits permitted by international law. But importantly, we also have to develop commercial, economic, and cultural and scientific exchanges in our assignment. And this is very much part of that cultural development. We are mindful of the fact that Jamaica is now defined demographically, and that makes the launch today even more important, because in a country without borders, which we try to define ourselves as, it's important that the access is a two-way flow, and that the journal, as it now exists and will exist for posterity, can be disseminated, can be accessed, can be relevant to the lives of our nationals here, as well as the international community who are also here. I will go from this event to an event that honors another Jamaican icon, because the Institute is a Jamaican icon, if you can call an institution and a document an icon. Miss Louise Bennett Coverley, Miss Lou, whose birthday will be marked this afternoon with another ceremony at about 6 o'clock this evening. And this is part of what we do. We support the community's efforts to keep the culture alive in tangible ways. And over the past year, since I've been here in Miami, we have been very busy with a number of activities to do with promoting culture and food and music. Where, for instance, support the mission of artists here from the Miami Diaspora Vibes Incubator mission to Jamaica, where they did workshops with Edna Manley and showed the Jamaican population, the art aficionados, another side of what happens here in Miami. Because the music, and the contemporary music in particular, goes back and forth very easily. But the other core values that we try to promote, the culture, what underpins the culture is critical. So we supported that endeavor. We also had, on the contemporary side, a joining with the Asian Arts Center for the promotion of the Harder They Come, which is a seminal work in Jamaica's history, and was very successfully done here. More recently, we were part of a drumming workshop at the Broward Performing Arts Center this time, now with Willie Stewart of Third World, a very well-known Jamaican band. And Willie actually led 2 teams of middle school and elementary school children, about 60 children, in a drumming workshop that took Jamaica's music from the mento ska all the way through to contemporary music. And it was a fantastic afternoon, and we were very pleased to be there with them. Publication-wise, we were involved with launching at least 6 tomes recently in various fields. We had photographs and depictions in images and words by Peter Ferguson. And Mr. Siago, who we mentioned as being instrumental in launching this journal, was part of the 100 Jamaican men of note who were captured in that tome. And this was important because Peter was trying to demonstrate that there are, in fact, viable role models, male models for our youth. Patrick Robinson launched a book on athletics in Jamaica. Susan Alexander launched a visual arts tome that she is interesting, an export from the USA in Jamaica, who has named her body of work Jamaica Journey, and the book depicted that body of work. Jean Laura Chin recently with her poetry and prose, and Dennis Chung with economics. So all of this is part of what we do to show the multidimension of Jamaica, and the fact that the diaspora here are critical to that, and are extension, in fact, of Jamaica in this new demographic era. So these efforts are part of what we do. We are pleased, therefore, to be involved in this academic exercise, and academic exercise that will be of relevance to generations to come. And we thank you for the opportunity, thank the library, congratulate the library. And I'll open the floor now for Dr. Shavans. Thank you so much.
Well, I mean, if you open the floor, well, we're supposed to hear music and to dance, aren't we? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I really want